Morning, everybody, and welcome to TSO Daily. I'm your host, Mystic Ribbon. All right, so another change of plans. So I'll be doing a broadcast today. I wanted to do a quick video because, I've had a couple of trolls make some good, valid points. So I don't know if I would really call them trolls. They made a good, valid point. Like, you can go ahead, and I'm going to say this. For the record, technically, if I didn't want to use Camouflage Hunter on both bars, I could opt to sacrifice it, use potions to gain the major savagery. I'm not arguing that at all. You can even go into, your passive in alchemy and get it so there's no lapse. Okay, good point. But sometimes less is more. And what I mean by this is, depending on your configuration for your build, sometimes it's not necessarily a good thing just because I can get the major savagery from potions to deslot this. And let me show you guys why. Now, one of the people posted, you can use a lot of different skills, and you can. For example, if I wanted to, I could go into here. Now, first, let me show you guys my character sheet. Look at my weapon damage. Okay, currently it's 2321. All right, I'm going to go ahead, replace my Camouflage Hunter with my Leeching Strikes. Go back into my character sheet. Now I'm losing weapon damage. Right? You see what happened? I'm losing it. Same thing on the back bar. So let's go to the back bar, go to the dual wield bar. Right, I have 2965. Let's go ahead and I'll put my caltrops on, which you can do. And you can mix the builds as you see fit. So I'll put my caltrops over here. And we go in. So it's 28.9. Now I'll replace that again. Go back in. 29. So you can decide, this is personally up to you, if you want to go ahead and be dependent upon potions to grab your major savagery. Okay, that's completely up to you. But in a game like this, we're always going to talk, and I'm always going to say, I'm going to refer back to Clever Alchemist, where we're talking about equivalent exchange, right? You have to give up something to gain something, right? You have to be willing to sacrifice something of an equal component or value to gain. You have to be sacrificing something to gain something. And in this essence, I would be sacrificing additional weapon damage for an extra ability. That's dependent on you and how much you want to juggle your rotation. If you're comfortable with doing that, you can. But sometimes, by having a little bit less and pumping up the existing abilities with additional weapon damage, you're gaining more. And same thing with other configurations where you might not be so dependent or reliant on said X factor or variable to gain. And that allows you to slot, other potions and other effects to gain somewhere else. And that's what this game offers. So in proper rotations and things like that, you can do that. So like, say for example, if I wanted to, and I wanted to keep the Camouflage Hunter because I'm like, I'm getting extra weapon damage. That's pumping up my ability. So by doing this, for example, my rearming trap is dealing 6,060. If I deslot it for another ability, right? And then I go back up in. Now I'm losing the damage, and it's reflective on the tooltip. Now you're gaining another durated effect, so yes, that's increasing your damage in that aspect. And you're gaining, a way to recoup. So there are pros to it. And I want to say that. But if you can manage and you want that extra weapon damage to pump up the existing abilities, then it's your best benefit to keep maybe something like that because you're getting that passive in Slayer, which is increasing it by 3% for having it slotted. So that's the difference between each individual's playstyle. Now, for example, I'm using the webs here, the Shadow Silk. And if I don't want to use Shadow Silk, I like Shadow Silk because it offers a synergy, especially with people for proc sets. But a lot of times I'll just go ahead, I will go into my Assault, and yes, I will go ahead and slot my Caltrops. So I might throw the Caltrops here for a nice rotation, and then put my Poison Injector on the front end. Because remember, it's acting like a finisher. And you can do that, right? You can definitely do that. That's an option. So those are options in your builds. You know, you have tons of little different options that you can do. I like, now it has a 5 seconds, but listen, when they activate this, the Shadow Silk does a lot of damage. The duration is 12 seconds for your Caltrops, dealing 2080 every, 2080 when it explodes, 1706 every second. With this, it bursts, dealing immediate damage after 5 seconds for 8-4, and then someone can activate the synergy, dealing an additional 9743. Right? So there's the difference. It's all going to be, kind of, here to call. But remember, when people activate synergies, they're going to go ahead and they're going to get that extra regen towards their max stats from the Undaunted passive. So I see a couple comments. I'm going to go ahead and check it out. Oh, hit the wrong button. All right. A little lag here. Morning, Lewis. But yeah, definitely, sometimes, less is more. It's just, it is all going to be dependent upon what you're trying to accomplish. It's just that simple. I can deslot the Camouflage Hunter. I can rely a little bit more on potions if I choose to do so, but I'm going to be sacrificing weapon damage. Same thing with my Stam Sork. I can rely on potions and give up to 2 throws set, but I use other potions rotated around because I'm not giving up that major savagery. It's maintained at all times. That's my personal playstyle with that build. Is that build for everybody? No. I'm never going to tell everybody this is the way to go. That's just not my playstyle. But I understand in a game like this, the indifferent values, the indifferent curves, and what you can lose to what you can gain. That's a law. It's a mathematical law. The devs do such a great job incorporating that in this game fundamentally. It's the fundamental principle of how you build your characters in your build setups and your parameters, is understanding the loss and gain, right? That's what you're doing. So if you're a type of player who doesn't want to slot Camouflage Hunter and you want to be dependent and more reliant upon potions, you can do so. That's not my play style. It's just not. I know what I'm giving up in that process, But another thing he posted, this was like, you can use Relentless Focus. Now let's go over this. Now I'll go ahead and morph this because I use this for PvP. Here's the problem. I don't use Relentless Focus in PvE setups. I use it for PvP, but not PvE. The reason being because I get Minor Berserk. The healer, if he's using Combat Prayer, gives me Minor Berserk. So I don't need it. I absolutely do not need this. If I wanted to, I could, because it has the activation, but I don't use it because it doesn't stack up. To me, it doesn't fit well with my rotation. But for some other players, they might like it because they want the Spectral Bow. To each their own, right? And there's times that I will use my Bleaching Strikes. It's a great ability. There's times I use Power Extract. So depending on the situations, my configuration might change. But I usually keep a very consistent, rotation. It's like one thing he missed out on, was using Twin Slashes. If I wanted to, I could even put Twin Slashes on here. I can use the Cloak. A lot of people know that I use Bladed Cloak in a lot of situations, especially in trial situations when I need a little bit of extra resistance for the AoE, ground AoEs. So it helps out, man. So if you're looking at Halls of Fabrication, you have a lot of those ground AoEs. Bladed Cloak comes in handy because it reduces that damage you're taking. So that's significant. So you can't throw the abilities like that out the window. It offers an AoE effect for damage, and it reduces damage. Comes in very, very handy, especially when you're looking at Deadly Cloak. So, to me, there is no real wrong way to go with builds. It's just about how the devs made sure to say, okay, I can use Steel Tornado, and it's going to increase the radius. It doesn't increase the damage, it increases my radius. But I'm able to keep the stamina recovery with the major endurance. Yes, I can use potions. Once again, I can use potions to keep this up. But given the fact that I'm frequently using this throughout my rotation, it's an extra perk. But if everything is more spread out, Steel Tornado is a little bit more beneficial. So, once again, it's going to be your preference. It's going to be your call. And I think that's what the devs did really well in this game. What do you need and what do you want? So I think that's one of the things that I love about it, is taking a look at it and dissecting it. Well, you know, I could use this a little bit more at these times. So it comes in handy. Same thing with Blood Craze versus Rapid Strikes. You know, I could go with Blood Craze, get a self-sustaining heal, instead of, you know, increasing the damage output if I need a little bit more survivability. And that's optional as well. That's if they activate it. A lot of players ignore synergies. Well, you know, that's true. Oh, you're fine, Krill. That's true. Some players ignore synergies. Me and my people, we don't. Because we know what synergies really offer, especially with people with proc sets that are, you know, really benefit from synergies, plus our recoups. So we know we're getting that 4% on synergies. We don't ignore them. And you're right, because I have seen players ignore synergies, and especially orbs. And I'm like, because they think, you know, oh, don't hit that because it's healing us. Well, if depending on the healer set, they're wearing Twilight's Remedy, you might want to be hitting those balls because that's going to increase your DPS. You don't know. Good morning, Mustang. So that's kind of one of the things I wanted to go over. You know, sometimes little less will give you a little more. You know, sometimes less is more. You don't want to go ahead and think, oh my God, you know, I shouldn't have Camouflage Hunter, or I shouldn't use Tooth Throw. You know, you have to be understanding on what your playstyle is and what you're needing and how your rotation goes, and how don't feed in to the toxicity of people saying it has to be this way. That's the one thing I never say. I'm like, there are different like configurations and champion points. So long as you're aware of the diminishing values and your penetrating values, you're going to be okay, because you can configure champion points to your specification of your build based upon your sets. And that's what I'm always telling people. It's in this game, there's no one wrong way to go, because the devs give us that capability. They're like, hey, if you want to use, I could stack fighter guild abilities and increase my weapon damage a shitload. Is it going to be effective? Probably not. Probably not. So that's the one thing that I'm always telling people. I'm looking at it from that perspective when I come up with these builds, and it works for me. It does. I find it very useful. Some people do. Some people like my builds, and I'm not saying my builds are for everybody, but they get me through all the content that I'm trying. Whatever content I'm trying to get, that's how I build. That's how I make those adjustments. So it's like Two Fang here, the Two Fang Snake set. I have this entire set, but I never, and I have it over on my other tune, a lot of the pieces, but on certain builds I don't use this set. I don't, because like for example on my Nightblade here, I get enough crit, so I don't need that critical value. I'd rather use a set like Spriggans, because I get a little bit more oomph from it. But put this on my Stamplar, and he benefits a lot better from Two Fang Snake than Spriggans. So there's the difference. You know what I'm saying? There's no absolute one set that benefits everybody. So I'm going to scrap up some stuff here and get these dailies. But yeah, it's, you know, it is what it is. Let me check. But yeah, I mean, you can go different routes. There are different options in this game. Morning Rock, there are different options. And I'm not going to say there isn't. I'm just saying, be aware what you're going to give up, what you get, what you sacrifice, you're going to lose somewhere else. Right? That's how this game goes. It is how it's designed. You know, it's like, okay, like infallible ether. Here's a prime example. You know, nobody rolls a 5-piece set of this hardly, but the minor vulnerability is guaranteed. So I have this kind of configuration set up on another tune if needed. If I need 5 pieces of infallible ether because nobody else is using it, I will opt to do it. Why? It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed to apply minor vulnerability when I do my heavy attack. That's significant, right? It is. Now, there are times that I always tell players too, I build intentionally without any master or maelstrom weapons. I have a few things, but you know, what I want to do is say, you don't need it, right? That you don't absolutely need it. You can opt to use it. It's a perk. But a lot of players don't have the time or they haven't completed it. And I don't want players to feel like, oh my God, I can't do endgame content because I'm missing one piece. That's bullshit. That's so bullshit. Do not get fed into that toxicity. Matter of fact, Baby D, thank you for logging in last night and helping me with my run. She is one of those people who promote, bringing players up, teaching them normal trials, progressing them up through it. And that's what this game's about. This game is about improving your play style with a team. You know, being able to be proficient without saying I do or don't have said piece. And that's what I'm always trying to promote in this game. All the time, every day, all day. You know, it's just like, and I could go ahead and I could be like everybody else, chase down those pieces, get that said trait, get that, get this, get that. And then all of a sudden, guess what ends up happening? I become one of them in the process. To me, that is not worth it. I don't want to be one of them. I want players to be themselves. I want them to play the game as they feel comfortable. But, you know, like I said, you can be efficient. You can be. You can be very efficient. You don't have to be set on one specific. Yeah, I have a bunch of Senshis. I have a build with this set. It's pretty badass. It's funny. Like I said, I'm just going through and trying to 86 some pieces I picked up last night that I'm not going to be using. That's like, you know, a couple of the monster sets. A couple of people don't like certain monster sets. They're like, oh, that monster set sucks. Well, why? You know? There's an application for it somewhere. The devs wouldn't put it in the game if they... I mean, there are sets that, you know, it's questionable, makes you scratch your head. But ideally, what the devs try to do is cater to the players who want to do something different. I personally think that's great. You know, sometimes we're questionable. We're like, okay, what are you guys trying to do? You know? I mean, I sometimes I look at a set and I'm like, excuse me. But that doesn't mean that somebody else can't figure out something with it. Good morning, Todd. Thanks, Todd, for running with me last night. But yeah, definitely, guys, don't get in that. Don't, you know, you can, there are options upon options. If you want to use potions and you don't want to use Camouflage Hunter, by all means, take it out. But just be aware of what you're losing in the process. That's the only thing I'm going to tell people. If you can understand that and you opt to do that, that's your choice. And that's what this game's about. This game is about how you choose your rotation, how you choose. And that's why, like I said, I step away from players. Like, I'll do the content. There are players I can do content with, and I'm comfortable with that. You know, like Baby D, I've ran trials with her, vet trials with her. Nothing but positive. Always positive with her. And those are one of the players I like to group with. And there are other players that they say, hey, you want to do this, you want to do that. And I'm like, oh yeah, straight, cool. Yeah, I'm in, for sure. And those are players I surround myself with when I want to do those type of content. I don't get into, I'm a former elitist, I don't want to get into this elitist fascist in a game like this to say it has to be this way. I don't want players to think that. I do not, absolutely. You can customize the builds to your play style. That's what ZOS gave us. ZOS gave us that capability. They do such a good job of it. And you're always going to have somebody who's going to dictate to you how to play your game. But guess what, guys? At the end of the day, what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me. That's how it goes. That is how this is designed. And that's what I always tell people. Do what's comfortable. Get a general conception of, what you want to put together, and then execute it, and then make those adjustments. There are things that, I can't explain. Like somebody in PC ran a Lich build, for a DPS build. And it was crazy. It was nuts to see it. It was impressive, to say the least. His sustain was really good. He knew that build. Would I have ever rolled that build anticipating that type of results? Absolutely not. I would have never anticipated it. But should I go ahead and criticize him because he's using a 5-piece Lich as his primary static set? No, obviously I shouldn't, because he's killing the fuck out of shit. So who am I to say, oh, by the way, we should definitely you shouldn't use that. You should definitely go with Moon Dancers or something like that. Who am I to criticize that player? Who am I to tell that player who's been running that build that he should junk it? That becomes my question. That becomes my whole thing. So, to each their own. That's what I like. I love this game for that. And I think a lot of players want to be nitpicky. They want to go ahead and, some players like niche. I like niche in a lot of situations. I think niche is a good set. Some people don't, because it's restrictive, right? It's a restrictive set. It applies to, elemental type damage. That, it's like, oh, okay, well, I can use this, but I'm not going to get any benefit from, like, frags from niche. And that's true. But is that to say that you can't use that in your configuration? I don't think so. It was awesome. It definitely was, Todd. I had a blast. And I love that build of yours, man. And that was another thing. Todd brought in his own build, and I thought it was really good. I was like, this is impressive. Seriously, how he's playing this, And, I do I have that build? No, but he ran it really well. He knows his build. That's the thing, man. If you know your build, and you can, why do I have all this stuff still? It's kind of interesting. Let's go into supplies. Maybe I picked up something. I don't know. Forgot to crack these open last night. That could definitely help. I don't need that. Okay. That should be enough space for now, I guess.
I wish I was off adventuring.
Alright. I'm going to pick up some dailies, see what the dailies are. Why did someone from Xbox try to troll you when you don't even play on that platform? I don't know, Kevin. I think a lot of people want to critique, right? And I to a degree, I think it's healthy. I think criticizing is healthy. So, and I mean, he made valid points. I'm not going to say he didn't. But the thing he failed to realize by saying, don't use Camouflage Hunter, is what you lose in the process. And that's what I'm always telling people. You're going to lose something. You have to lose to gain. You have to be debated whether or not it's worth the sacrifice. That's what you have to. That's what you have to be willing to ask yourself.
Try to destroy the.
2. Ooh, nice.
Your gear tempt the mom.
That one could be a little rough depending on the group. I might have to log on another tune to Dark Shade 2. It's been a while since I've done those on this tune. Oh, wrong side. But yeah, like potions. When you make potions, even for example, poisons. Poisons becomes a question depending on your encounter. I do not. Oh, sweet. I do not understand the mentality of putting other players down because they want to experiment with the innumerable combinations of gear setups in ESO. Right, and I agree with that. And I don't think, and that's why I don't think there's Abyss. I think each class is going to have. 1 second. Okay. Why me? I might as well pick up this lore book here. I don't need it, but I'm on Steam character. Last boss, I guarantee it. People will mess up this mechanic so bad. No. Okay, they're queuing it. I think some people just take offense even when I'm just saying re-queuing. Maybe I should say please. That is the original goal of ESO. Any race, any class, any role are all viable. Right. That's what it's about. And I don't think, like, there are, like, hybrid sets out there that, to me, are complete. Last boss, I knew it. Yeah, go figure. There are, hybrid sets out there that, to me, I've tried hybrid, like, builds, tried to scale, and PvP you have a lot more. Soloing, it's fun. It's fun for soloing, especially when you're leveling up, kind of doing really cool things, trying to get those morphs. It really comes in handy. Not saying it doesn't, but the way the scaling system works, like every time I try to put a hybrid build together, it's like, fuck, man. I even tried Pinnacle Aptitude, and I'm like, I can't get this to scale as high trying to put a hybrid build together. It's just something I haven't been able to successfully do and feel comfortable with giving it out. So I'm like, I want to do it, but the way the stamina and magicka scales, because abilities will either scale max health, max stamina, max magicka. And when you put a hybrid build together, you can get like aptitude, you can get like equivalent value for weapon and spell damage, but that doesn't help the scaling for the magicka and stamina. So it becomes like, oh shit. It's like, fuck. That's like stamina users using Meteor, it doesn't really, it doesn't scale as well for them. So for them to use an ultimate like that is less beneficial. Not to say you can't do it, but it's less beneficial than a magicka user because they have more spell damage and max magicka at their resource to pump into that ability. So I feel like there are things that I would like to see in the future, and hybrid builds becoming more like, I can use magicka and stamina and I can gain so much more by doing this setup combination, or making that a little bit more appeasing, or tempting the players to try to go that route. I would love to see it. I would love to see that type of stuff a little bit more in the future, where we could say this ability scales max stamina and max magicka at an equivalent value. That would be awesome. That would be friggin' awesome if they did that. Yeah, the elitists be like, run X set or get the fuck out, right? And that's what it is. That's what they do. It's not queued. That's my daughter. And that's my granddaughter. My other daughter's here. My kids have an hour delay in their school because they're doing this new program for the kids. I don't quite get it. I don't know. But cute. Hey, can you please cue it? Says in progress. I don't know, man. I don't see Q. Oh, there we go. And yet, there are players that want to drag ESO players into some kind of conform to my way or don't play attitude. Exactly. That's what they do. Which is why I do understand why do they feel the need to force other players into their mold. Why do they even themselves care if someone is a clone? Right. Why do they care what another player is geared with at all? I'm sorry, but it's Gilliam the Rogue's fault. Saying shit like, I don't want this class in my group because, like, asshole, it's your group, not everyone else's group. Everyone doesn't play the same. Exactly. And that's what I always try. I try to prove viability. Like, and I have Vicious Ophidian and Night Mothers on. Like, if somebody else had Night Mothers, I'd put Huntings on. Now, like, a lot of people would be like, yo, you should have this set. Well, if I have my penetrating value there, right? But because I'm using Night Mothers, so I know I'm getting an extra 2,000 and something. I know major fracture is going to be applied. Hopefully, minor fracture as well. And if someone has this effect with the Crusher enchant, okay, now I'm hitting my pen cap, right? Right. So I already know. Okay, I have 8. I have 10. Right, and now that's 11, that's 16, here's another 2, there's 18, there's pen cap. I'm good to go. Right? So there's my pen cap. So I'm understanding of that. Right? And these other players, who, when I was the first person talking about it, Gillian was not the first person talking about penetration cap, exceeding penetration cap. I was the first person saying, you can exceed penetration cap. Did they hit the scroll? Oh shit. Bad time to die. Trying to keep an eye on her. Get out! Damn it. Oh no, that's not a good place to die. I'm gonna get Superman. If I get Superman, I'm gonna cry. There's somebody got Superman. And we Superman them hoes. You. Oh my god. I'm trying to res you, just... No, I'm in the path. Oh! No, no, not that screen! No! Funny thing is, the tank has a better chance of actually getting these dudes up than I do. Breathe, Mystic, breathe. What are you doing? Yeah, you have no DPS. The tank's fine. He has self-sustained. Get out of there. No, 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 no. Heal me. Oh! No, don't let the healer, dude. When you're there, you don't have to block anything. It's a spellcaster. Go in. Out. I don't like that setup, especially with my rotation. In. Sure. No. Just spam it. Die, you bitch. Mistake. Oh no! Oh no! It's not even on hard mode. You have to move in and out, and usually you have to understand, like, this is the hardest part about this board. Okay, so the ideal is the woods have like a circular path to them. If you guys are watching this, and what you end up having to do, there's a couple of like blind spots. Usually by the stairs, you'll see like there'll be two coming, and you can actually roll in between and around, back here where I was and around, or back around here and around. But if people, the problem of it is people, when they roll out, they get bumped by that tornadoes, and that can happen. So you literally, and I mean literally, have to kind of like watch the tornado path and slightly go in between it. Okay, whatever. Get in here before somebody gets Supermaned at the door. Yeah. Oh, what the hell, weave? Oh shit! Yeah, it might be a really good spot. Shouldn't get Superman. Oh, move it! You have to pay attention to the ground. Tank, pull back a little bit. Don't. Tank's good, but he keeps. He's the one that can kind of like just move her without dying. Like the tank can go far back, get Superman, and not die. But anybody else move out of that, they're gonna get Superman. Poof, one hit usually. Okay, stay out of the radius, stay out of the radius, stay out of the radius. You gotta come over just a little bit, out of the path. Okay. Alright, there you are. Yep, yep. Nope. Gonna get hit right there. You're gonna get Superman. These winds could be a pain in the ass. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait. I did get it. I'm waiting for that circle. There it goes. Picking it up now. Okay, see what I did there? I saw that win, so I made the adjustment. Go to come in, see the win, come in, now make the adjustment. There we go. Oh, nice. I have it. Overwhelming axe. I wish that was the sword. Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it. You have to be like, it's hard. In a magic user, it's the same principle. It doesn't change much. You just have your, when you have that hammer, your camera angled, you have to like just slightly divert because it's in a circular path. How the winds will go from the point, from like the X, and then come back down. So it has a path, and then there's, you know, a total of like I think 8 winds or some shit like that. This is a yo-yo boss. Yeah. Yeah, the boss could be a pain. Once you understand how the mechanic works, like, you know, I ran out of stamina, so I died trying to get out. But once you understand how the path works and kind of in and out, you're usually good to go. You know, it's you know, getting accustomed to it. We'll re-queue it though, because I got to do it again. Like, I could throw on my caltrops in this one. You guys could kind of see the difference when I'm not using my webs. The visual's better on caltrops for sure. I'm still getting readjusted to this whole rotation, because usually I'll open up with the blade, then move into my AoE rotation, so I get that brutality right from the rip. But I haven't been doing that because I'm used to my stamp sword already applying it. Because remember, guys, I have the minor force, I have the major brutality. So all of my primary buffs are indicated. That's the one thing I go for my builds too, is like, what buffs do I have? What can I maintain throughout my rotation? What keeps up my up times? Things like that when I'm going throughout my builds. Personally, I'm trying to hit everything. And what, like, You know, when I came into this, a lot of people didn't know what builders were. Like, I'm using, you know, my flying daggers as a builder. And people are like, what's a builder? And I'm like, that's been in MMOs for years. I haven't been hyped for Crown Crates since Wild Hunt. Yeah, I haven't seen the new one. Morning, Robert. I haven't seen the new Crown Crate yet. But like I said, if you don't want to use Camouflage Hunter, you want to be more dependent. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Anyways, yeah, if you want to be more dependent on, you know, potions, that's fine. I'm not willing to give up the weapon damage. And then on my Sork tank, I like having the Major Savagery up all times. That's me personally. If you want to go with Huntings instead of Tooth Throw, you can do that, by all means. Oh shit, there's some more left here. What? We're not having to clear. No one's got the quest, right? We can skip. Yes, balls. I will hit your balls. He's got balls and shards. Yeah, to each their own.
And you'll be back to it.
I'm not too good for your balls. I enjoy your balls.
You assured us you could handle these foolish Ultima. And they are slaughtering your soldiers. We can't allow them any farther into these caves. Kill them, promise.
Don't move, bitch. I do not want to be up in there.
on their own sword.
Tempest Island. Oh shit. I'm stuck. No, I don't want to loot. I hate this rock. Give me that. Okay, looking tears. See, that's why I'm afraid to go up. I'm like, is this guy gonna pull him or not? That's a weird lag. See that body? It just like... I was like, did it fall first or take the damage first? Or was it tank go first? Done. I'm about to say, is that thing dead yet? I don't know. Maybe I suck. Just the way it goes, guys. 12k DPS, remember that.
This island belongs to the Valor.
Whoa, that was weird. Now, consequently enough, you know, I don't know how much, like when I'm doing four-mans, I never know who's wearing what. So, you know, you just kind of have to, like, you know, sometimes suck it up. But, like, a group like this is doing really well. So I never get, like, hemmed up about, like, oh, you know, what are you wearing? What aren't you? What? How'd you make it? No. Whatever. Looks pretty good. Wow, Rock. Never seen this side of you before. It's awesome. Let's not forget the song Dueling Bystars from the movie Deliverance. Oh, that's pretty cool, dude. Q as a DPS sucks. Every mother's son wants to be the Bystard. Yeah, that's awesome. And Mystic couldn't get a Q to save his life, right? But my trolls will always be here for me. I love my trolls. Ideally, I want to always open up with the blade. Shit, I'm full. Can't get rid of that. Can get rid of that. Can get rid of that. Get rid of. Get rid of. Stormmaster's Impen. I might be able to do something with that. We'll see. Do 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 do. Clean up these dudes first. Get the squishies out of the way. Weird delay, man. Okay, I'm not picking up any loot. Say no to the loot. I got full bags. Okay, let's see if we can go for broke and get the... Woo! Ah! Perfect timing. Oh no! I was out! I thought I was out! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! No, it's not. Get closer together before we get super bad. Uh-oh, that's bad. Uh-oh, no, 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 not again. Oh, made it, made it, made it! People are getting Superman. That dude's way out of bounds, man. He's trying to think like he's safe in the background. He's causing more problems. As soon as she blows, you want to get back in there. She'll Superman your ass. Dude, you don't get it. You don't go back. I'm dead. The lamp pole got my way. Dude, stop going back. No, no, DPS. No, no. Stop it. No, you're killing us. Literally. Got to get close to this bitch after she does. Oh my god. Stop moving around. It'll be okay. Okay, move around these winds until I get knocked in the one going back in. Don't, you're getting... Man, this dude's bad on my resources. See how the wind was coming in? Just readjust. Uh-oh, that's not good. No. Think I'm in between. Yep. Yes! Go Mystic! Ow, shit. No, every time I'm laying down damage. Dude, oh no, I can't get that dude. I can't go get that dude. You're getting Superman. Stop. Oh my god. Oh. See, once the radius is... Don't pull away, dude. Okay. I have to wait. Now I can go. In between, hopefully I get this off before she does her ground effect. Okay. You cannot go far! Stop! You're getting a Superman! She just... It's like we're ping pong balls now. Now you pull away. Block through the wind if you have to. Move back in. I have to leave up. I'm going to get on this side so I don't get hit by the tornado path on the rollback. Or that, we can do it that way, sure. No comment. One second. Yeah, I'm gonna die. My sister-in-law called me. She called me twice. I'm like, you know I'm on my show? She's like, oh shit, I didn't know. I'm like, I didn't answer the phone the first time. Okay. If I can... Okay, there we go. Oh no! Just wipe it. This is me trying to help. Ugh. Out. In. Oh, no, no, I don't have enough stamina. Go get the other dude up. Just... There we go. Out. Keep away from that. Win. I see that dude was way too far back. See what he did? He got scared and moved away too far. And that can happen, and then she breaks. You just got to be right outside the circle. It's like... I'm done. No! Oh my god! No. This is a bad corner. There we go. Gotta weave up here. Perfect. This corner, one's past. Should be coming back. Moving around this way. Go back. Move out. Wrong button. Messed up. Uh-oh, that's not good. That's not good. If I can get in here, this is gonna be bad. Nope, nope. I don't want to worry about that dude. He's gonna get Superman. You can't. The tank's really good. Okay. Get out of the... Yep. Get out. Get out. Move in. Move in. Move in. Yep. Good job. Okay, move out. Move around that wind. Move in. And he lost the taunt. Wait for it. Move in. Move in. Okay. No. Do not go back further. Oh, that's bad. As long as that thing doesn't blast me. Stop running outside of her area unless she's got that down. Now run in. No, I told you. You can't hear me though. The winds suck. The devs can be sadistic, I swear. Okay. I gotta wait for her to do her little squat. There it is. Moving in. Move around these clouds. Keep around the circle. Out. In. Yep, there it is. Out. In. Oh my god. Not again. Just keep the taunt, keep the taunt, keep the taunt. I'm right between the clouds. It's perfect timing. Oh shit, this might not be a good timing. Watch for AoE. Perfect. Moving in. This dude cracks me up. It's a timing thing, it's adjustments. Oh no! That is so crap! Oh. Keep the aggro, keep the aggro, keep the aggro! No, 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 taunt her, taunt her! Oh shit. Don't move out! No, don't res me! Don't res me! Don't, no, 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 heal, just heal. I gotta hurry before this bitch Supermans my ass. I just want to finish it. My food buff even wore off. I'm a weakling at the moment. I ain't got time to fuck with it, though. Go in. Take this, you fucking bitch! Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. My food buff wore off. Everything went nuts. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, it's karma. Oh, wow, that last AoE was so fast. This is the stuff you cannot R stuff up to. Holy hell, watching that run stressed me out. Yeah, we gotta play yo-yo. I remember the first time I did this dungeon, I took a few deaths and then I realized the point you were trying to tell them. Right, yeah. You know? You can do... Once you get the pattern down, and it's a timing thing, how many times... Like, see, I farmed Overwhelming Surge, and my Overwhelming set in here, which I have. I love that set for a build I use. Love it, love it. Stormmaster, I use on my Stamsork. I love that set on my Stamsork. And all of a sudden, like, in and out of here when they put it in vet mode, when they implemented these sets in here, and I was having to farm them, I lived in here for a minute. So I got used to that little, the tornadoes. Now, at that time, we could cheat the system by putting it to the door, and the tornadoes couldn't get us. Like, we could have actually put them, like, right there at the beginning of the steps of the boss, and then just roll backwards, right? And then go up. But they fixed it. And so we was doing it that way, but after a while, you got used to, like, this pattern of, like, okay, a tornado passed me on this side, move in its position. Another tornado passed me in this position, move to that position. Roll out during the red phase, stay without just outside the perimeters, move in, you know, and you just get used to it. You know, it's just mechanic thing. It's just like, okay, but even when you know mechanics, you can slip up, you can die, you know, things can happen. Even in the most perfect group with that boss, things can happen on the fly. It's like, poof, dead. You know, what the hell just happened? You know, I got caught by a tornado on the back end, pushed me inside the AoE.
Now,
You're like, what? It gets crazy. Gets nuts, I swear. Transmutation crystals. Gotta get them, gotta get them, gotta get them. 23 already, so they build up pretty fast. They definitely build up fast. Gotta love these things. But anyways, guys, I'm going to check out the comments. I'm going to wrap this up for the day. Let's see. Running dubious Camoran drinks. Not on this run. Like, I will on certain trials. I'll switch it up. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Get the extra stamina regen. Most of the time in dungeons, though, like... Depending on the groups, I don't need the dubious, but I mean it comes in handy. With this build, I'm more reliant on, like, you know, okay, we call them out like me and my dudes do. We're like, I need a shard, okay, I got the next shard, or I got the next orb, okay, boom, I'll throw in the weave heb, and we're a little bit more formulated. Like when I roll with like Uology or Duck and those guys, we call things out a lot more clearer, you know, with my regular people I roll with. So we're hitting every point on as much as possible. Plus it helps that we've played with each other quite a bit, and that gives us kind of a little bit of advantage, knowing which classes we're rolling with, and the strengths and weaknesses of each class, and what we have to bring in offset. But most of the time we get all the content done, and it's never been too much of a problem. So yeah. But anyways, guys, like I said, this video, the topic is just sometimes less is more. And, you know, and I believe that, you know, also applies in life. You know, you can get everything you ever dreamed of, but is it going to make you happy? Are you going to be happy with it? Because at the end of the day, you can have everything that you've ever wanted, especially in games and in life, but if you're not happy, sometimes you have to take a step back, get rid of it, throw it away. Just like, you know, just say, you know what, I have too much. I have too much going on. I have too much on my bar. I have too much going on in life. And just simplify it. Because when you do that, you get more out of your life. And you get more out of your gameplay. So I hope that helps. But once again, I'm Mr. Craven. This is CSO Daily. Thank you for watching. And once again and always, have a nice day.